Dear Eli Jones TV, your recent videos have been making living in a dorm look so fun and exciting, but I'm sure this isn't actually accurate to how it is all the time. Could you please explain what living in a dorm is actually like? Just don't make it a podcast or something dumb like that. Sincerely, the Family Guy Gamer 67.
I know exactly what I'm gonna do.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the DormCast. I'm here with some of my compadres from my dorm, and it's honestly like one of the last weekends that we're gonna be staying here. So we're just gonna chat about what it's really like living in a college dorm. But first, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Logan Irwegas, and I live in room 115.
I'm Rev.
I'm Isaac. I'm not going to dox myself.
Yeah, I just literally told you not to give your room number.
No, you're gonna blank it out, just like the Taco
Okay.
Bell video. My name's Logan. I live in room...
Yeah, I guess we could start by talking about the Taco Bell video, because I feel like that's kind of the point when we all really became friends, I guess.
Eli is the creative god of the dorm. He comes up with ideas that bring us together, including and starting with the Taco Bell video.
I did not tell you to say that. Like, it's gonna sound...
Yeah, the Taco Bell video was interesting. It was like the first time that I interacted on like a outside of, oh my god, people are outside of my room, I can sit with them level, you know? And it was interesting because I had never done anything like that, just like spontaneously or planned, gone to like just do that with friends. That was never something I did before. So it was really fun and a good experience for my first event at college, I would say.
Yeah. You want to say something, Isaac?
I feel obligated to talk, but I have nothing to add.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I had that idea like the first week of school, and my roommate Ramsey just kept telling me how great of an idea it was and I needed to do it. And then I didn't do it for like a month until like Logan and Rev, I think, found out, and then just made a group chat with like so many people that didn't even go. And then we were the ones that went, plus Noah. I don't really know where he is right now, but
No one does.
I saw him earlier.
oh yeah, Noah's gonna be my roommate next year, so hi. He's probably gonna comment on this video.
Can we talk about Boombox guy?
Boombox, yeah.
Boombox man. What was up with that? Like, I want to know where he is.
I want to know what he was listening to.
Well, he was playing it out loud. What do you mean?
Well, I don't know the song, though.
You didn't Shazam it?
Nah.
He was cool. Another tidbit. There was, I think, cooler than Boombox guy was actually BMX guy, who we did not catch. On the way back from Taco Bell, we were in the parking lot, and this one guy just kept like doing these cool bike tricks just for no reason. We were the only people there. He just like went off the road and just started biking, and like it was pretty sick, I think.
I liked the motorcycle guy that like kept like popping up as we were walking. Like,
Oh yeah.
Almost like we were being followed. It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Rev and I have a spooky story
Okay.
about somebody on a BMX bike late at night. Do you want to tell this story, Rev?
Oh, goodness. Yeah. Oh,
I'll set
okay,
the
you start.
scene.
You start.
So, with our UT Austin ID card, we get free access to all buses. And so, these buses are sometimes on a 24-hour cycle. So you can just get on them at like 3 a.m. and just ride. So we just got on a random bus going north. And we just were like on there for 30 minutes. And then we just got off at a random stop, like 7 miles away. And we started our journey back home.
Except we made somewhat of a fatal mistake, because when you are traveling by bus and you aren't really sure where you're going, aren't really familiar with Austin, you don't know what areas are kind of sketchy and you should probably not walk around at night in. So we ended up in one of those areas, and we're like walking around this elementary school, just like looking at it, and we see this dude, and he's kind of sketch, and he's on a kid's bike, and we're like, oh, hey, and we were with another person that lives in the dorm, Zach, and we were all like, yo, that guy looks sketchy, we should, we should dip, we should get out of here. So we start like walking away from the elementary school, except once we get a little far away, we notice he's following us on the kid's bike. And he's biking behind us and catching up speed relatively quickly, and we're walking fast. So he gets in front of us and he's like swerving. Like we're walking on the sidewalk, he's swerving into people's driveways, getting in front of us, and we're like kind of terrified. But we end up just like kind of walking around him. He stops at some house. We walk around him and we like scurry off, very fearful. Anything you want to add to that? The knife part or?
Oh, yes. So basically, Zach had no idea this was going on. Rev and I were like communicating. We were like whispering to each other. We just like left Zach out of the loop because we didn't know he didn't know. And so he's just like, "What are you guys thinking? Like, what are you guys talking about?" Like,
and being really loud when he's saying things like this.
Yeah.
To the point where they definitely heard what he was saying.
Yeah, and I think the scariest part is when the dude got off his bike and just started like picking through the trash. He was just like going through the trash and just like literally doing nothing, just right in front of us. And we just had to like walk right past him. And I was like, oh my god, is he just gonna like jump around like the scary clown? But it's terrifying. And this was literally at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
At night. So don't go to North Austin super late at night.
Okay, don't. I've done it twice. Don't go on a bus and go to someplace random. Sometimes it can end up fun and, you get a 5-mile walk in. Other times you end up scared for your life. So be careful.
So is that like the moral of the story?
Yeah, that's the moral of the story.
Yeah. Go somewhere safe. Like if you want to go like somewhere late at night, Zilker Park is pretty safe and it's really pretty. You can just go chill over there, especially just slightly north of Barton Springs.
Mm-hmm. And always bring your friends.
Always bring your friends. Never
Don't
go alone.
Do you want to talk about the time we got on the bus and went to Barton Springs? It was not actually that interesting, but Barton Springs, if you don't know, is like this cold spring, and it's like a natural spring. So it's not like a pool. It's just random rocks on the bottom. And when you go at night, you can't actually see. And usually, like, if you actually want to go somewhere, you have to get like immersed in the really cold water. And personally, like, I don't want to do that. So, but like, I'll just be walking, but then you're like slipping on rocks in the cold water. And Logan was there, and he kept just like, kept just swimming around, and like, I think he kept splashing me, which was like, I think this was this like pre-Taco Bell video?
This was after Taco Bell.
Okay. Yeah, I think you, I don't know.
I think it was, but it was before
like
the end of September.
Yeah. You guys were like, oh, let's go to Barton Springs, and then I can't really remember the fun part of that story. It was
The fun part is when we missed our bus stop and had to walk back like half a mile to the actual Barton Springs area.
Oh.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Cap Metro app is terrible. The bus app, it's just, you should just like figure out what routes there are and how frequent they are, and know which stop to get off at.
Make sure you're going the right direction.
Yes. That's always scary. And if you need to get off the bus, I didn't know this. There's a wire you have to pull at the stop. So, like, before the stop comes up, you pull the wire and the bus attendant will stop. I didn't know this, so I just, like, kind of flew by.
Yeah, I thought that was like an emergency wire, and I'm like, it's not an emergency. I was just waiting for them to stop, like the first time I was on there.
Yeah.
I think my first time I rode on the bus, I rode with like a couple friends, and I'd never ridden a bus before, but both of their phones had died before we could get back, so I had to navigate Cap Metro app, and then we waited for like 40 minutes for a bus, but thankfully I had the app, and apparently you can just use Google Maps.
You can, yeah.
And it's way easier, but they don't talk about that.
Another tip, if you're scared to ride the buses, if you're from anywhere in Texas where they don't really have buses unless you're living in very metro downtown areas, you're just going to take your ID and you're going to hold it with the code facing towards you, or the strip facing towards you, and you're just going to swipe it, and then you're going to be good. And it's going to make a fun beep noise, and you're going to go sit down. And then when it's time to get off, you're going to pull the cord. And then when they stop, you get off. That's it.
Yeah. Also, but some of the bus drivers are like Tokyo Drift, Fast and Furious Vin Diesel actors. So they won't wait for you to sit down, and they'll just like floor it and go full speeding. And they'll just like half stop at stop signs and just go like around roundabouts like. So be careful of that.
Okay, dorm life.
Dorm life. So
tell us about your experience in the dorm.
Yeah. like what did you expect the dorm to be like, and was your expectation correct? For anyone watching that's getting nervous about going to college after hearing these stories.
Okay. I didn't expect. Well, I expected the air conditioning and the heating to be reliable and work. I also didn't expect the floor to flood while I was on spring break. So be advised, depending on your room, you might have to provide cooling and heating solutions yourself, aka a fan and several blankets. I'm hoping the flooding's a one-time thing and
Yeah.
you don't have to prepare for that.
Just
But
if you can help it, don't stay downstairs. I think, or maybe.
I disagree with that though.
I mean, yeah, imagine moving.
Yeah, moving is much easier if you're on the first floor.
Yeah, I live on not the first floor, and I don't know. It's fun because like I guess you don't hear loud people above you. You just hear like loud people through your closets in our dorm anyway. So.
And your windows don't border on like walkways, so you can like actually open them and look around.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. What? How about you, Rev? What did you?
My expectations.
What was your expectations going in?
I really kind of didn't know what to expect. I chose this dorm because it's okay if I say why I chose this specific dorm.
Yeah. If it's weird, I'll cut it.
Okay. I chose this dorm because I thought it would be like the most community oriented.
Mm-hmm.
And it turned out to be. So I recommend the redacted name dorm that we are currently staying in.
Yeah.
Anyway, expectations. I kind of expected this dorm to be somewhat old and dirty, and it kind of is. But the community aspect here is great, and I don't really have that many friends, but I have a lot of friends in the dorm, or people that I'll talk to, so that's fun.
Should I go, or do you want to tell your expectations?
I'll tell my expectations.
Okay.
Well, coming to UT Austin, I was expecting it to kind of be either bougie or really bad. I didn't know how cheaped out they would go. And honestly, those expectations were kind of neither or. Like Isaac said, dependable AC and heating. When we had literally a week of snowing and they didn't turn on the heater at all and the AC was still on.
This room was at 45 degrees, and I don't even have like the sheets that like are for cold weather. And the first night I slept in a t-shirt and shorts, and I just hibernated until the afternoon.
Yeah, so bring extra blankets of a wide variety because it might not be dependable. But also, like, if you're going somewhere that has normal cold weather, it probably will be. It's just the way that, like, UT Austin works is we have to submit a maintenance request and everything. So that's a kind of a pain. And honestly, I think for how expensive it is, that was my biggest worry, like, just how expensive the dorms are. Because there are other options that are just as or cheaper, and I think they give you a better experience with like having a private restroom. But honestly, yeah, this dorm is great because of the restroom and toilet shower ratio to people compared to like something like Jester.
Yeah. Not that we don't live in Jester.
Yeah, not that we don't live in Jester.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say try to find a place that's small and community based. And you really have to make of it what you want. Because I was kind of expecting to come in and not really make any friends in the dorm and only make friends in my classes. And the exact opposite happened to me. So, like, put yourself out there just once or twice during the beginning, and hopefully that will be fruitful.
Invite everyone to game night.
Yeah.
Force people to play board games with you.
That's kind of how we originally met each other. We just, like, we played I think it was the first night of the school year, and was it you that put on the group chat? Yeah. We played a social deduction game, and I won it, and everyone thought I was so cool. And that's how we were all able.
That, in fact, did not happen.
Yeah, I'm like a terrible liar, especially in Among Us. Well, we didn't play Among Us, but we played another game that was like Among Us.
Eli sus.
Eli super sus. Wow, wow, wow.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I wasn't sure if I was going to make friends in my dorm because, I mean, for the first, like, 2 days living on campus, it was like I just knew nobody, basically. And I was like, oh, but like if people don't leave their rooms, it's gonna be weird. Like I don't want to try to force friendships. I guess when my dad was in college, he lived in like an all guys dorm, and then they had like a really tight community, and I kind of wanted that, but I guess that's what I did get. I just didn't live in the all guys dorm. I guess what was the next point? It was oh yeah, what's like your favorite thing about living on campus that like makes you recommend it? You can go, Isaac.
Oh, thanks. I have to think about this. Probably the fact that I can walk over to my classes like a good 10 minutes before they start and not have to worry.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to say something like
No.
like fluffier or like
No, I mean
it's
that's about that's I think that's like the like initial appeal to everyone for living on campus.
okay.
But no.
I concur with that. I literally wake up sometimes at like 10:45. Got classes at 11. Won't leave my dorm till like 10:55 if they're somewhat close, and just get there a couple minutes late and be chilling. So that's really nice. Another thing that's nice about living on campus is really just having, it's kind of the same thing, the closeness, the convenience of meeting up with other people that also live on campus, or just in general, people that go to college. You're only a walk away from different buildings that you can meet up for group projects or whatever you need. It's also the dining halls, although it depends on who you ask if that's a pro or a con.
Delicious.
No.
But again, it's overpriced, but everything in Austin is super overpriced.
Yeah.
I would say the biggest thing, especially at UT Austin, is like just age. The majority of the people in the dorms are going to be sophomore or freshmen, and the older people are going to live off campus. I don't know how that is at other colleges, but it's really nice being around people who are the same age. Because I go to orgs, and there are people who are like, oh yeah, I'm 22 years old. I'm like, whoa, you're 4 years older than me. And they're like grad students who are like 30 years old. And I'm just like, I don't know how to interact with those people. And I like having people that are in the same situation as me, just being at the dorm for their first year and like bonding over that. Mm-hmm. So like the age there is like really important. And I don't think I would have wanted to, like, I look back on it and there are other cheaper options that I'm like taking advantage of next year. But at the same time, it's like if I had gone there initially, I didn't know how I would have looked back on the experience. So I'm glad that I went to the dorms, even though I had to like work and work and work and work. But yeah.
I don't know. I think the same. I guess after hearing y'all talk, it's definitely like the idea of being there with other freshmen, because like I guess most of my friends I met, it just became really easy because a lot of the freshmen are living on campus, and I think I know a couple people that just like were like, I'm gonna live in a solo apartment my freshman year, and I think that's like one of the worst things you can do to yourself, because because for me, I'm like one of the two people that came from my high school, and so I basically went in knowing nobody. So it's like, and even if you come with people from your high school, you're probably going to find out very fast that your high school friend group, it probably isn't going to just last you through college.
Fact.
So, yeah. I guess also something that they don't really talk about, but that's really important, is like making like the friends I guess you make like the first couple weeks of school, usually. Because I've heard like people say like, oh, like you'll never talk to people you talk to first week of school again. But I don't really think that's true. I think most of the people I talked to, I met the first week of school. But it's like, to make friends, there's like a period, like the first week or two in the dining hall, if you like, you could just sit with anyone and talk to them and it's not weird, and you can like make friends really easy that way. Like first couple, yeah, like I did, or no, actually
Depends
I
on
didn't
how
do that.
socially adept you are.
I mean, people would like
Results
sit by
may
me. I mean, first day of school, I like just, this person sat in front of me, we talked about like government and stuff. I mean, I don't really think I kept up with them, but you know, it's cool to make friends. But after that, do not sit next to random people in the dining hall if you can help it, unless you're just so cool like, then, I mean, if you're feeling up to it, then go for it. But that's kind of the social cue. There's like first week is the time you can make friends at the dining hall. But yeah, I don't really know where I was going with that. But
Yeah. I don't know. There are like 3 places where you can make friends, or really 4. So the dining hall in the beginning, that was definitely a miss for me. I sat in front of like 3 people, and they just did not talk to me the entire time. Like 3 separate people on 3 separate occasions. So, but then there's the dorm, obviously. I would say that that's a good place to start, especially since you guys live close together. And usually the beginning of like the first week is just syllabus week, so you're just like Jay chillin'. Second thing is classes. Like, try to talk to people in your classes. And if you don't like them, don't sit near them and find other people you enjoy. And then lastly, and I think like the biggest thing is orgs. Like, you should get involved in a club if you can, or just something, whether it's like UT official or not. Like, join a Discord and just try to talk to people. Like, I talked to like people on the baking Discord here for the baking club at UT. And that was really nice. None of the friendships ended up lasting because I left the Discord because I hate Discord. But, yeah.
yeah.
Just some tips and tricks.
Yeah, I guess for me, the trick, like syllabus week, literally if anyone invites you to hang out and you like, oh, sorry. Another thing about Austin is that there's like really loud noises in the street, but also like, I guess first week of school, first couple weeks or first month, really, that's just how you make friends. It's like very simple, but people don't think like, oh, if someone invites me to something, I should hang out with them. Like, just hang out with them if you get invited to stuff. And then maybe if y'all don't mess with each other, you'll probably just not get invited, and it'll be fine. But also that's how like you can show people that you care, I guess. I guess once you get there, you realize that half of the people there are like also feeling very lonely and scared they're not going to have any friends. So you just got to run into enough of those. Are you just playing with your toes? Hold up.
Sorry.
No,
It's an automatic reaction.
this is the...
blur.
No, I'm not blurring that. You did that in the feeling productive video.
Be aware. There are some weird people at UT. And there will be weird people that take showers without shoes on and walk
take
around.
baths. That's more.
With baths and
That's more daunting
disgusting
information.
tubs, and they'll walk around with no shoes, and yeah.
And they smell. They poop their pants.
Atkins tiny. So be aware.
I did that.
Everyone look at Eli. No, guys.
This thumbnail.
Guys, I got canceled.
Yeah, but no, there are genuine people like that. So be aware, unless you're looking for that, because like
You should be.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah, you always need to find someone that's a little less cool than you and turn them into your...
Okay, yeah, I'd say that orgs are pretty good at making friends, because like you can show up, and like the nice thing is like you don't have to be like, hey, do you want to hang out and be all awkward? You could be like, hey, you guys want to come and work on this thing at a restaurant, and you trick them into hanging out, especially when you're like surrounded by people who don't have social skills. It's
So like robotics club?
yeah, things like that.
Yeah.
Also, Reddit is your best friend when asking anything about your college. Find your college's subreddit and just go and browse.
True. I found out so much. I found out that it's a good idea to live in the dorm that I live in. I also have a printer, and I was like, I just want to have a printer so I can print stuff. But like I didn't know what type to get, and on Reddit people just answer it. So like people are like, oh, you can get this printer and it works. And I'm like, okay. And it worked. It was also probably a fifth friend making technique is like having a printer, because everyone wants to be your friend when you have a printer, I think. Like people won't be mean to you because then they might need to print something later. And then you might get random knocks on your door in the night and have to get out of bed, and then it'll be like a person from down the hall being like, please, I need to print my Japanese homework. And then you're like, I guess I will help you print. So.
And this is because UT print is not good. It is not good. I cannot tell you how many times I've gone to a UT Print printer and it does not work. But it takes your Bevo Pay funds, just FYI.
Also, yeah, the dining hall, if we're talking about bad things about the dorm, when you're paying like close to $3,000 for a dining hall and food, the variety can be a struggle. And it can honestly, like, I had gut problems for the first semester to where I was basically limited to only eating rice and chicken without being in unbearable pain or just having super bad nausea. And I'm pretty sure it's just due to the dining hall. And I just got randomly sick, like really bad, one week and had to stop going to class. And then it just like, after that, it just stopped. So yeah, be careful what you eat and take care of your body.
Yeah.
And don't trust the sus lettuce.
Get ready for the diarrhea floods. The floodgates have opened.
Yeah, they might even open at the dining hall.
But the Friday cookie bar is amazing.
Oh, yes.
I've never actually got a cookie from there because I have class, and also I don't want to.
It's not actually a cookie. It's warm cookie dough and ice cream together.
Oh, that seems
It's
like
so good. Friday's at 2.
yeah.
30.
Isaac, what's your go-to at the dining hall?
Okay, first of all, I hate this conversation because I haven't had breakfast yet and it's closed.
Oh yeah, dining hall is like closed on the weekends. So.
Yeah. What was the question again?
What's your go-to?
Oh, my go-to at the dining hall? I don't really have a go-to anymore. I used to, like, be satisfied by, like, if nothing else was good, like, I could stand having a pizza, but then, like, it started not making me feel like I wanted to live when I had the pizza. So, yeah, now it's just kind of whenever, and I, like, grin and bear it, you know?
Yeah. I used to eat the pizza, and then I went to Jester, which is the other dining hall. There's a few dining halls, but 2 of them are at Jester for some reason. And I went there and I got pizza, and then after that I couldn't eat any of the pizza because it just all reminded me. Also, when you get pizza, check to see if the sauce is red because they might have the white sauce, and let's just say you don't want that. We touched on this earlier, but like the like room temperature situation, you like really can't control that, and I didn't think about that. And like, I think probably maybe you could call this a silver lining, I guess, of like the snowy week that they canceled class for 3 days. It was that like I like became really good friends with, like I was already friends with y'all, but it was like, yeah, I'm just gonna sit downstairs because it's the only area that is not making me shiver constantly, and I just be in like a coat. We'd all be in like coats and we just play cards, and it was cool, I think. And then all we could eat was the dining hall or a few select pizza restaurants that were opened. But
Thank goodness for those pizza restaurants that will not be named because...
you could, I mean, there's only a few. There's like Repollos, and there's the Pizza Press. Pizza Press is, I think it's better than Repollo's, but it's more expensive.
There's also Dollar Slice Club.
That's not worth though.
No.
I think another like big tip is related to snacks. The dining hall can get really old, and like or you might wake up on a Saturday or Sunday between 2 and 4:30 and the dining hall will be closed. So make sure that you have snacks, whether it be like popcorn or just like chips, and then also a healthy stash of ramen of multiple varieties. You can go super cheap with the Ramuchan, just like 25-cent packages, or you can get some like Shin Black or some fancy ones. But just like have something to where you can keep yourself steady, especially if you need to like just like grind studying or don't want to leave your bed.
I think probably the last point that we should cover is that you shouldn't make steak in the dorm.
My name's Logan, and I smoked at the building for steak.
Or you have to be careful, because you can make steak and not set off the fire alarm. But you have to like be careful. You have to like have all the windows in the kitchen open, and like be like fanning the air out.
You can either have really good tasting rare steak, and have the fire alarm go off, or you can have gray goo and the fire alarm not go off.
Gray goo.
Gray goo, because that's what I've experienced trying to cook. Like cooking at the dorm, like, oh, it says like, oh, there's like cooking stuff, like, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, it's an electric stove that's on a 30-minute timer, so you can't cook anything in the oven for more than 30 minutes without having to like constantly be there. And it's so smoky and so bad, and the ventilation is terrible. So just be aware of that. Like realistically, cooking things at high temperatures is not gonna work out. You have to be creative.
We've been talking for a long time, I think. I guess any last words do y'all want to say before? Because this could be the last time you were in one of my videos, but hopefully not.
I'll find a way back in.
Yeah, just
Taco Bell reunion.
yeah. We need to do that.
We should do that.
For any incoming UT students who are on financial aid, like I am, ask for more. They're not going to take anything away, and the biggest thing I've learned is if you ask for more, a lot of the time they're going to give it to you, or they're going to be like blah blah blah, and then you can find somewhere else. You shouldn't have to rely on like getting outside scholarships. There's a bunch of resources at UT that can help you, like UT Outpost for food, and like clothes drives. So don't be afraid to ask for that. And yeah, you can thrive here with not having a bunch of money. So don't forget that. Don't lock yourself out of a opportunity just because you think you can't survive.
That's good advice.
Yeah, just adding on that, I feel like the dorms are even though the dorms are expensive, the dorms are a better environment for low-income students. Their first year at least. Or some of the other like low-income housing options like co-ops. But, and I say this because they do provide such a sense of community, I think, amongst lower-income students. The cheaper dorms, not like San Jac or Durham, but
Well, not that we don't live there.
not that we don't live there, but
Yeah.
but I think definitely make a choice on that. Make a choice on your dorm based on A, what you can afford, and B, the environment that you want.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is my podcast, the DormCast, the first and possibly last episode, but thank you guys for coming, and thank you for watching, and bye.
Sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.